Hello, everybody. Mr.FrightNight here. Today's story is Blair the Doll Part 2. I don't know if you watched my video about the dollhouse. Blair was a haunted doll that got thrown out a bedroom window and disappeared. Well, she showed up again. This time, Blair was found on the side of a road. There was a family going on vacation to Vermont. They were coming from New York, so it was a long drive. It was a father, mother, and they had a little daughter named Jane. Now, Jane was 6 years old and loved dolls. She had all kinds of dolls, happy ones, sad ones, and even creepy ones. As the family was driving down a windy road, it was dark and snowy. Then suddenly the car hit something in the road and got a flat tire. The father pulled the car over to put the spare on. As he started to replace the tire, Jane decided to go out and play in the snow. As she played, she seen something a couple of feet away. So Jane walked up to it and with her hand brushed the snow off of it. And she noticed it was a doll. Now Jane was overwhelmed. She loved dolls. Jane then picked the doll up and carried it to the car and showed her mom. Jane said, "Can I keep it?" And the mom said, "No, it's dirty and you don't know where it's been." Jane started to cry and said, "Please, can I keep it?" Jane repeated herself over and over until the mom finally said yes. But the doll had to go in a trunk till we got home so we can clean it up. Jane said, "Thank you, Mom." So Jane's mom put the doll in the trunk. A couple of minutes later, the tire was fixed and they were on their way. By this time, the snow started to get heavier, and it was very hard to see, so the father decided to pull over and wait it out. He said to his family, "Let's wait here, and hopefully the snow will stop or slow down." Now, Jane was in the back seat, and she heard something coming from the trunk. It sounded like something was moving around in there. The parents didn't hear anything. They were in the front seats, talking about what they were going to do. The snow was still coming down, very heavy. Jane interrupted her parents and said, "I hear something in the trunk." The father said, "Let me take a look." He got out of the car, opened the trunk. He looked in, then shut the trunk. He got back in the car and said, "There's nothing in there but our luggage and that creepy doll." By this time, the snow was getting deeper. They decided to continue to wait. A couple of minutes went by, and Jane heard a knocking sound coming from the trunk, as something was trying to get out. She said, "Dad, did you hear that knocking in the trunk?" Her dad said, "There's nothing in the trunk," and didn't bother to look. More time went by, and the snow was getting deeper. They still decided not to go anywhere because it was too dangerous. As they sat there, they all started to fall asleep. As they slept, something woke Jane up. It was a noise from the trunk. It sounded like something was trying to get out. Jane started to get scared and told her parents. Her parents said, "There's nothing back there, Jane." And Jane said again, "I heard something. There's something back there." So Jane's father decided to humor her and got out of the car and opened the trunk. A couple of minutes went by and the father still didn't return. The mother looked back, but the snow was too heavy to see. More time passed and Jane and her mother were getting worried. So the mother got out of the car to see what was going on. She walked to the back and her husband was gone. She looked around but didn't see anything. She looked in the trunk and the only thing that was in there was the luggage. The doll was gone. She quickly ran back in the car and locked the doors. Jane says, "Where's Dad?" And the mother said, "I think he went to get us help," knowing it was a lie. As they continued to sit and wait, there was something scratching at the window. So the mother wiped the condensation off the window and seen the doll just staring at him. She couldn't believe her eyes. The doll was alive. The very next day, the snow stopped. The emergency crew came out and were clearing off the roads. They saw the car. They stopped to see if everything was all right. The car was empty. The only thing they saw were little footprints around the car. They followed the footprints. They went into nearby woods. They followed the footprints and they went into nearby trees where they disappeared. I have a feeling the footprints were Blair's and she's still out there.